on behalf of Dyne, I can't say how pleased we are to have all of you here with us today and sharing your unique perspectives on living with Duchenne. We first celebrated World Duchenne Awareness Day last year with a community discussion on the disease burden as experienced by people and families living with Duchenne. And excitingly, this year we'll dive deeper to hear from all of you about the unique experience, your challenges and successes you've experienced as you transition to adulthood as people living with Duchenne. Everyone here at Dyne is here for one reason, and again, that's to create transformative therapies for people living with devastating muscle diseases. And it's core to who we are. It's our fuel every day, and it's our passion here. And the stories that are shared by all of you really help to continue that commitment and mission that we have here at Dyne.
For those of you that might not know about Duchenne muscular dystrophy, we're really in uncharted waters because we're kind of the first generation of people that are living significantly longer with this condition.
For me, it's kind of been a bumpy road. I was diagnosed when I was 3. I was so young when I was diagnosed, so I really didn't understand what was going on with me for a few years. But my parents kind of explained it to me at a young age, which I'm kind of happy about. I know some parents kind of hold that back from their kids and they don't want to tell them what's wrong with them. But for me, that kind of helped because I knew why these things were happening.
It kind of made me think, okay, that actually makes sense. Like there's a reason why this is going on. And just going through it, I was never really worried. I was more thinking about what my abilities were that day. I like to look at it as I've had every single level of ability. So anyone that asks my knowledge about it, I think that I'm very knowledgeable because I've had every level of it versus some people, they have something happen and they become paralyzed. They go straight from being able to do everything to nothing. But having every single in between you could have, I think it helps. And it helps me understand the disease and helps me understand any sort of weakness or just levels of strength.
For people that fully understand muscular dystrophy, not only is it a multisystemic disorder in our bodies, but it's got ripple effects of almost everybody that we touch and come in contact with. And the closer the people are to our inner circle, I think the more it affects them. Most able-bodied people would define independence as just being able to get up and do anything you want at any given time. And those of us living with muscular dystrophy, independence is quite a different thing.
So I define independence as being able to control as much of my life as I can. Like you said, independence for us is completely different. So I think as far as being vocal and having a good mind is my independence.
Independence for me is it's kind of along those same lines. It's sometimes physically I'm going to need to rely on other people, but mentally it's all me, and independence is making my own decisions. For me, one thing that motivated me was all the times I used to fall down. And the one thing that was always true was I would always get up. So I never just stayed on the ground. Back when I was having all these falls, early on in my life, I would always just get up. And I don't know what gave me that motivation, but just that's always how I think of it. I end up in an upright position.
I don't think I developed it from being a sports fan. You hear all these stories of guys coming from nothing and being multimillionaires and being the best in their position. So I just developed that mindset that, could be worse. Things could be worse.
Focusing on something you're good at, do something you enjoy to take your mind off of it. And then another big thing is, for me, I've always been into music my whole life. I played drums in high school, was in the marching band. So music has kind of helped me get out of a lot of tough spots.
have a strong mindset, but also I would say don't sweat the small stuff.
For me, I would say just find out what you're good at and what you're passionate about and do that, because that's something that can't be taken away from you. Maybe your physical abilities can be taken away, but definitely not your passion and your joy. So just like find out what you're good at. If it's a skill, get better at that skill.
So I just say, don't be scared. Just take it day by day. Live your life to the fullest. And a quote I always use is, I don't suffer from Duchenne, it suffers from me.
We understand that hope is fragile. We're working our butts off to make it possible.
The outlook you have on life, the stuff that you climb over, go around, go through for Sean and Pat, is really, it's pretty profound. And getting to work with people like you, getting to hear from you, hearing what you're doing going forward, thinking about how you frame your life and stay positive is just incredibly inspirational to all of us. It definitely the work that we do here every day in a way you can't possibly imagine. So I just want you to know how much we appreciate your time today and how much we appreciate the stories that you're willing to share, because believe me, they have enormous impact here.